Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just make sure my mic works. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. Also make prize picks content. All these videos, they get posted on the subreddit. And good thing with the subreddit is, because a lot of stuff does change with these videos, and on the subreddit, I'll make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. And there was a lot of news today. So I'll have this link down below. You can check it out. And you can also talk to me before lock. I'll answer any questions you guys have, anything you need. I am in here all day long. So yeah, I'll have it linked down below. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Discord. So, all right, let's get to my lineup from tonight, and I'll show you guys my results from last night. Where is my line? I'm in a lot of contests today. I think I did 2 lineups today. I'll just show the main one. This one. So, I mean, come on. But let's get to my results from last night. So it was a really good night last night. Cash main slate, cash showdown slate. There's a lot more below it. I was just too lazy to take a screenshot, but it was a really good night last night. Today, it's looking like probably a rough night for me tonight. Kawhi Leonard got injured. I slammed him on Showdown, so that was fun. So yeah, probably gonna have a rough night tonight, but core did good. My core today was Luke Cornett, SGA, Jason Tatum, and Amen Thompson. That Amen Thompson faders. I mean, he was the best value play on the slate. Unbelievable stuff there. Rounded out my lineup with Jabari Smith. You guys knew if he started at the 5, I absolutely loved him. I played him. He had a floor first half. Dylan Brooks fouled out. Josh Giddey had a floor game first 28 minutes. And then, rounding out my lineup with Kevin. I had Sam Hauser here. What are the Celtics doing? First off, what are the Celtics doing? What was today? Anthony Edwards is late for the first half a couple days ago. He's late for the second half tonight. Kawhi Leonard leaves because he has family problems in my showdown lineup. Celtics trolling the lineup. Well, what happened today? Just crazy stuff. But yeah, going to be the first losing day for me in quite a long time. But if you're looking for more DFS content, prize picks, sports books, all that good stuff, night slate content, main slate content, showdown content, cores for all that, I'll have my Discord link down below. We've gone forward the past couple slates, so let's go backwards. Let's just change it up here. Good matchup here for the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry going to continue to be out here. I'm high on 2 guys here. And I don't necessarily know the field's going to be high on them either. Jonathan Kuminga, Chris Paul. I think both are very solid GPP plays. If you want the higher floor, I would probably go with like a Chris Paul if you do pick one of these guys. If you want the higher ceiling, I would choose Jonathan Kuminga between these guys. I'm pretty sure he got into foul trouble. He played 19 first half minutes, so I believe he was on pace for a bit more. I want to say he got into a bit of foul trouble. But regardless, 3 games straight, he's played over 30 minutes. We know he's a good point per minute guy. He's probably going to lead this team in usage. Well over a fantasy point per minute guy. Minutes, like I said, he played 19 first half minutes last game. So I am intrigued here by Jonathan Kuminga. And I think Chris Paul is just very safe. He should play low 30s minutes. We know he's a stat sheet stuffer. He's a good rebounder for a guard. He's going to dish out assists like it's no other job. Has double upside. Like the spot here going up against Dallas as well. But the only issue is the pace. Dallas, they play pretty slow. But yeah, I like both Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga quite a bit for tournaments. I definitely would rather play them over a guy like Draymond Green. I think he's a bit overpriced. Trace Jackson Davis came off the bench last game, but they're only running him and Draymond Green. So I still think he's in play as an option if he comes off the bench. I would much prefer if they go back to him in the starting lineup. Like if he does start again, I feel a lot better about his minutes, and then he would be a really solid value. But if he comes off the bench, still playable, but just not as good. Wiggins at 5-1, played 30 minutes. I think he's an okay value at 5.1K. You know, solid rebounder, put the ball in the bucket. Just fine for me. Fine as like a filler play. I don't know if I go to anyone else. That'd be if Clay had a bad game. I know he had an okay game, 8 of 21. That's fine. I think he's priced right. I think the main standouts here are Jonathan Kuminga, Chris Paul. Maybe if they start like a Trace Jackson Davis, it's fine. Moving on to Dallas. So Luka Doncic, he's still too cheap. He should be $13,000 or $13,500 in my opinion. He's just Russell Westbrook from, I believe, 2020, whatever, he was on the Wizards when nobody would play Westbrook, and people finally caught on at the end of the year. You get him low-owned every single slate, just dropping a triple-double every single day. Wild. But yeah, he's still too cheap. He should be like 13,000, 13,500. So obviously, Luka is your best bet up on the slate. So love Luka there up at the top. Kyrie Irving's going to go much lower owned than Luka Doncic. While he still has a ceiling, I always just prefer spending up for like a Luka Doncic. Luka's usage right now is just absolutely absurd. PJ Washington, I would still say, is probably priced right. Daniel Gafford broke the NBA record for most combined field goals. I believe it was 28. 7. I don't want to do math right now, but yeah, he hasn't missed a field goal in 4 games. I'm not going to play him, but I just thought I'd mention that. It's mainly just Luka Doncic for me up at on this team. If you want to go to like a contrarian Kyrie Irving off a chalk Luka, that's completely fine, but I'd rather just prefer to play Luka, right? Moving on to Cleveland, so it's all going to depend on Donovan Mitchell. Knee injury, we'll see. We'll see if he's on some type of limit, but if we continue to get Mitchell out, I still think there's a good amount to like here, even at these price points. Now, it's not a good matchup here going up against the Pelicans, but we have 2 guys that are just going to absolutely dominate usage here. Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, and then obviously Jared Allen. That's 3. I apologize, but those 3 guys, they're going to dominate usage and do absolutely everything for this team. Karis LeVert, you're going to see high 30s minutes for. Darius Garland, you're going to see high 30s minutes for. Jared Allen going to play all the minutes he can handle. I like the spot here going up against the Pelicans. So those 3 guys, I think, are solid options at their respective price points if Donovan Mitchell remains out. I think my favorite point per dollar would probably be Darius Garland, but I think all 3 look very, very good, even at their price points. Isaac Okoro, Georges Niang, they kind of got priced up. They're still in play. I think Okoro is probably the better play between the 2. He's playing huge minutes of late. He gets a usage bump. So I do prefer Okoro to Niang. Okoro is still probably going to project pretty decently. His price didn't move too much, and then Niang is playable. Sam Merrill will be in the rotation. He should play around 20 minutes. He's a fine dart that does have a ceiling. He's a guy that's going to chuck when he's out there. I don't mind it at 4.2K. I think that's all I go to. Like Craig Porter will be in the rotation. If you think the game blows out, he could cross. So I guess I don't mind Craig Porter at 3.5K. I guess it's fine if Donovan Mitchell's out. I think I prefer Sam Merrill at a similar price point. But yeah, Craig Porter Jr. firmly in play as well if all these guys are, or if Donovan Mitchell's out. Now, if Donovan Mitchell is in, I don't think I get anything here. I think Jared Allen's overpriced. I guess Allen's still fine at 8.4, but priced right. Darius Garland would be priced right. Karis LeVert would be overpriced. Okoro, Niang, they'd be overpriced. I'd be off Craig Porter. I'd be off Merrill. So there just would not be much to like here. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, if he's not on a limit, I guess is okay. But yeah, would be probably one of my least favorite teams to target. And then we get to another one of my least favorite teams to target on the slate here in the Pelicans. In this matchup going up against Cleveland, I think they're all kind of priced right. Maybe a bit, I wouldn't say overpriced, but all priced right. It's just a really, really disgusting matchup here going up against Cleveland. Everyone's healthy. They all eat into each other's usage. I like targeting these guys when they're in really, really good spots individually. Like Zion the other day up against, I believe it was it was Atlanta. He was my flag plant for the Discord. He was the highest scoring forward on the slate. But yeah, tough spot here. I'm not going to go out of my way to play anyone. If I had to pick anyone, it would be Zion, but yeah, but don't like much here. I will mention Larry Nance. His minutes have upticked of late. Now, they're probably just going to split. Like, can't guarantee he's going to continue to play that much, but yeah, Nance is a fine value. I'm sure better value will open up, though. All right, this is a game where we can definitely get some good plays from. So, assuming Trey Man's out again, I like this team once again in a good spot going up against Memphis. Miles Bridges, 8.8K, I really like. Brandon Miller, I think, is a solid option at 7.3K. Mitchell if Man is out, I like quite a bit. People aren't playing Nick Richards, and I'm going to continue to mention it. His minutes are going to be up with Grant Williams in the starting lineup. So I'm intrigued by Nick Richards at 5.7K. Grant Williams in the starting lineup is playing big minutes. He'd be a very, very safe option. Bertans is playing around 25 to 30 minutes. He's in play, but I would say probably priced right at this point. I'm not going to play anyone else, though. But if Trey Man is in, then, it kind of takes me... Mitchell would still be in play, but it kind of takes me off Grant Williams at that price point. Then Nick Richards, he would get a downtick in usage. He'd be priced right. Mitchell Man, I'd probably prefer Man between Mitchell. And then I still do like the top guys in Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller. Moving on to Memphis. So we'll see. I don't think I saw an update before I loaded up the OBS to record this on who's going to be available or questionable tomorrow for the Grizzlies. What I can say is if we get a similar situation tomorrow that we had tonight. So like, let's say all the guys that were out tonight are out for tomorrow. And we get same situation. Goodwin, Jemison, Aldama, Contra, Luke Kennard starting. Then I'm going to be high on this team once again. I was high on them today. I played a lot of them in my secondary lineup. I played Goodwin in my secondary lineup, and I played Aldama in my second lineup. Aldama just had a 4.5. Then I'm going to be high on this team. Goodwin, I would really like a 5.4K. Aldama would be a decent option. GG Jackson's going to have to play a decent amount of minutes off the bench. He is a ceiling off the bench. Laravia, I believe, played 30 minutes tonight, 24 minutes tonight. He'd be in play. Trey Jameson, he played how many minutes? 31 minutes. I would really like him for value. Prefer him to Wendy and Gabriel. Luke Kennard, firmly in play. I believe Drew had a good game tonight. No, I guess not, but fine. But he'd be priced right, probably. Main interest would be the starters here, and like GG Jackson, possibly Laravia. What else? What did Contra end with? 10, 3, and 3. I mean, yeah, don't mind that at 4.8K. So be a lot to like here if these guys are out once again. If we get a situation where they're in, then it's tough for me to prioritize anyone in the game. I would really like Jaren Jackson Jr., I guess, at 8.6K in this spot going up against Charlotte. Really good spot. Good shot blocker, good defender, can rack up blocks, steals. Should play mid-30s minutes, but I feel like they're kind of going to start shutting guys down at the end of the year. But if he plays, I really like Jaren Jackson Jr. for tournaments. Vince Williams would be very safe at 6.7K. Then it kind of just hurts everyone else. So it would mainly be the top two guys if we get everyone in. All right, moving on to Denver. Not a good matchup here, but Jokic is obviously matchup proof. I mean, Luka Doncic is just probably going to be much more popular than Jokic. So if you want to go to Jokic as a pivot, I don't mind it. Super high floor, super high ceiling. Probably going to get you close to a triple-double as well. I'm going for 94 fantasy points here up against Toronto. But different matchup here going up against Bam Adebayo. But I still think he's a good spend up. I do prefer Luka to Jokic, though. Jamal Murray has been on an absolute tear of late. His potentials are up. He's absolutely chucking when he's out there. The usage between Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic is just way up of late. It's basically them, Michael Porter Jr., he'll chuck, and then nobody else. So I still like Jamal Murray at 8.4K. It's just a really tough spot going up against the Miami Heat. He'll probably be really low owned, but I still like his ceiling in GPPs. Aaron Gordon, MPJ, they're both priced right. I don't think I touch either of them on this slate. KCP, if you need a value, fine. Has a ceiling when he's hitting his shots, but I'd prefer not to. And then I'll continue to mention Peyton Watson, who's been a decent part of this rotation that should at least see high teens minutes, good point per minute guy. But I feel like, once again, we'll probably have some better value. But large field tournaments, it's fine. All right, moving on to Miami. So Jimmy Butler is probable. Tyler Herro is out. Kevin Love is out. Don't like much here. I think Butler is an okay contrarian option. Bam Adebayo is just me. Don't love the spot going up against Jokic. I think Rozier's priced right. Duncan Robinson should see low to mid-30s minutes. Has a ceiling. Jamie should see high 20s minutes off the bench. Caleb Martin will play around 30 minutes. Guess it's okay for value. But yeah, pretty unappealing team here for Miami. Chicago. I think Chicago looks pretty good here. Going up against the Pacers, I like this spot here, especially for DeMar. So I think the main guys look pretty good here. Kobe White, DeMar DeRozan, excuse me, Nikola Vucevic, I think all look solid. I think DeMar is probably my favorite, but Vooch, like the spot for him. Kobe White, he's been insane of late. They're running a really tight rotation. Probably my least favorite of the three, but I think all look solid. Ayo's playing massive minutes right now. He's very safe. I would say probably priced right, but firmly in play. Caruso, he's playing huge minutes in competitive games. I think I'd prefer getting up to Ayo at a similar price point, but he's firmly in play. Don't love the price point there on Drummond, and I think that's it. Moving on to the Pacers. So what did Halliburton end with tonight? This game up 49 fantasy points. Okay, so I guess he's coming back to not his standards, but excuse me guys, my ears on my headphone. But nice to see at least a decent game at his price point. It's not a good matchup here going up against Chicago, but the minutes are there. Now it's a back-to-back, we'll see, but minutes are there. We know he has a ceiling. I'm okay with it for tournaments. Kind of similar play to like, you know, what Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson were tonight, but yeah, not a priority. I'd rather get up to Luka, rather get up to Jokic. I mean, looking at the spend ups, yeah, I'd just rather go to them or like possibly down, but Halliburton's in play, but just more large field GPP for me. Mathurin's going to remain out, so you're going to see huge minutes for a guy like Aaron Nesmith. I don't mind him. I think he's very, very safe. 5.3K. I believe the price came down from tonight. I thought it was like 5.6, but yeah, I think Nesmith's solid at 5.3K. Just the amount of minutes he's going to play with Mathurin out. Nembhard's fine. I think I'd rather just play Nesmith. Miles Turner, the minutes should play around 30, just indifferent on. They had a big game tonight. Of course, up against OKC, they've been getting demolished of late. Two bigs. I believe it was Nurk that had that one game against them. Not entirely sure. And this is another team where we can get really, really good plays. So if we get quickly Gary Trent Jr. out once again, I am going to absolutely love this team. Probably going to be my favorite team to target again. I loaded up on them last slate, worked out in a huge way. I'm probably going to load up on them tomorrow if all these guys are out. So with that being said, Kelly Olynyk, really like at 7K if all these guys are out. Bruce Brown started at the point, played 38 minutes. I would absolutely love him at 5.1K. Grady Dick played huge minutes in the starting lineup. I would really like him for value of 4.8K. Abaji's firmly in play. Jonte Porter will get the backup 5. He's a decent value. JFL probably plays, I don't know, teens minutes, playable. Jordan Nwora will play a bit at 3.6K. He's firmly in play for value. There'd be a lot to like. McDaniels, even in play for large field tournaments, there'd be a ton to like here if all these guys are out. If we get a situation where they're both in, then I'm really, really high on Emmanuel Quickly in GPPs at 8.5K. Olynyk would still be playable, and then we'll just kind of see what they do with starting lineup, et cetera, et cetera. But definitely going to be some pretty good plays there for Toronto. Oscar Thompson, he was out last game. I believe they started Simone. If Simone starts again, I mean, I like him at 5.1K. He's a guy that's going to chuck when he's out there. He played close to 40 minutes. Detroit's running a really tight rotation of late. I like the spot here going up against Toronto. So, yeah, sign me up for Simone. I think it's a decent option. Isaiah Stewart, he's playing huge minutes. Even if Oscar's in, I'm good with him. If he's out, even better, decent. Like I said, Detroit's running a really tight rotation right now. So, Cade Cunningham, I'm really high on at 8.6K. In a good matchup, I have a feeling he's going to be really popular tomorrow. Duran, another guy that I really, really like at 6.7K as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. What else? Jaden Ivey, I think, is solid at 6.1K. They're just running such a different rotation right now, especially if Ozer's out. If Ozer plays, I like him at 5.6. And then I'd probably be off Simone. I don't know if I go to these bench pieces, though. Wiseman, I mean, he'll get the backup 5, so he'll probably play 18-ish minutes. He's playable in GPPs. It's fine, but lots to like there with Detroit and Toronto. Moving on to Brooklyn, Cam Johnson, I believe, is going to be back. That's going to hurt everyone. So, like, don't love much. Dorian Finney-Smith, no thank you. Cam Johnson himself is priced right. Dennis Schroeder should see him around 30 minutes, just fine. Cam Thomas has a ceiling. Okay. Claxton, don't love the spot. Mikhail, I mean, price point's down. He'll play big minutes because it's okay, but not much to like there, not much to like here. All the guards are healthy, so I'm not going to get to any of the guards. If you want to go to Wendell Jr., that's fine. Him and Mo Wagner are going to split the center position. His minutes actually have ticked up of late. So, like, he's probably my favorite play in Orlando if you were to take a shot on anyone. And I think Paolo and Franz are priced right. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.